Hello everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm broadcasting to you live from beautiful Central Europe. Today, we're starting this week off with IELTS Speaking Part 3. So the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. Welcome, students. Hi, Rekha. Good to see a member in nice and early. Hi Kyber, hi Pachu, hi Warda. Great to see everyone. All right, students, as usual, our materials do come from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, and for general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have fantastic materials for you. We have 6 full practice exams, over 100 hours of video lessons, and a fully interactive course for your phone, tablet, and PC. You can take a look at aehelp.com. It's this website with the blue background. Click that big red button to join it. And the general IELTS website looks like this with the green background. Click that red button. By the way, these websites are fully responsive themes, so all of these amazing features are perfectly compatible with your tablet and mobile phones as well. Hi, Dean Paulo. Hi, Nahan. Hi, Patricio. Hi, Kasra. Good to see everyone. Hi, Ava. Good to see you in class. Okay, students, so let's take a quick peek at the schedule for this week. Again, if you have questions about the exam or just a question in general, send me an email to my name, Adrian, Adrian, at aehelp.com. Hi, Bezod. Hi, Preeti. Good to see so many more of our members joining in. Live streaming, students, it's usually 2 times a day from Wednesday to Saturday. We have 1 class on Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have 2 classes. First class is 13:30 to 14:30. That's usually a members chat only class, and then we have an everybody chat class from 15 to 16 o'clock. This is our schedule, 17th to 20th this week. Today we're kicking the week off with speaking part 3, where all of you can chat and enjoy interacting with me and with each other. And then tomorrow the members chat class will be Task 2. Members, we're going to complete that Task 2 essay that we started last week. And then after that, we'll have a reading strategy class where everybody can join in. Then on Friday, we'll have some speaking part 1, listening strategy, and then Saturday we'll have members chat, waiting for some requests there, and Task 2 writing. All right, let's get right into speaking. So students, you're in your speaking exam for the IELTS. You're feeling great about yourself. You're confident. The examiner has no idea about your English level. The person who came before you, maybe they were terrible, maybe they were great. Who knows? Don't care. It's up to you to do your best. So let's focus on that. You have your passport or your ID ready. Please make sure you don't forget your passport or your ID, because they will not let you take the speaking or the other portions of the exam if you forget it. All right. So every time, all the time, be excited, be happy that you're there. You're going to show your best English to the examiner, even if you heard the same question a billion times from teachers, tutors, speaking partners. You have to be excited about every question. And the first one is the most exciting question of all. What is your full name? What is your full name? And yes, good luck to those taking the exam soon. So how do you answer this? What is your full name? What should you say when they pop this question for you? Rekha, don't be scared, be confident. You'll do fine. You're practicing lots. Okay? So you're doing all right. So Yosef Samir says, my name is Yosef Bahubaishi. Please call me Yosef. Yeah, that's good. Yosef, I would put the word full in there. So my full name is Yosef Bahubaishi. Please call me Yosef. So when they ask you for your full name, Give your full name. Marina, if you have a middle name, and it's especially if it's in your passport, that was a good question. Then give your full name, including your middle name, especially if it's in your passport. Interesting, nobody ever asked that, Marina, and that's a great question. Yeah, if you have a middle name, definitely answer that. Okay. Zoya says, my full name is Zoya Zahur, but you can call me Z. Okay, that's great. But you can call me by my nickname, Z. If it's your nickname, say it's your nickname, okay? Especially if it's not in your passport. All right, good. So those are some great answers. Yeah, Marina, let's emphasize the importance of that, especially if it's in your passport. Say it, okay? Absolutely. So... Okay, and some people actually use their middle names. So just for fun this time, this is not my name, but just made one up. Some people call themselves by their middle name, then definitely include it. So here it is. Repeat after me. Again, this is speaking, students. So I really want you to repeat me, okay? Nice and loud. So... speak confident, speak loud, okay? You're being recorded in the interview, and if they have to reevaluate your speaking, let's say that you just missed your target by 0.5 on the speaking, and that's all you need for the whole exam and band score, then you might ask them to remark your speaking section, and if they say, sure, we'll remark it, it usually costs money, it's expensive, but they'll say, sure, we'll remark it. And then if they can't hear you on the recording and it's monotone and you're kind of speaking like this very quietly, you're probably not going to increase in your score. So it's good to be a little bit melodramatic. Anybody know what that means, melodramatic? And again, repeat me, students. This is speaking. So repeat, repeat, repeat after me. Anybody know what the word being melodramatic or to be melodramatic? What does that mean, melodramatic? Okay. Meanwhile, you can repeat me. My full name is John David Smith. Please call me by my middle name, David. Fabulous, emotional, somewhat accurate. Up and down, Roshni, not really. Anybody? Ahmed? No, it's not. Melodramatic, melodrama. Okay, melodrama. Farhan, there you go. Over enthusiastic. That's the closest definition so far. Melodramatic means overacting. Okay. All right, so melodramatic, yeah, it means to overact. All right. Yeah, and the reason I say that is, hi, Sied, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing great. The reason I say that is because when we're being melodramatic, we're being more expressive, we're intonating more, we're communicating in a clearer way. Many of you may or may not know this, but actors and actresses in your favorite TV shows and movies are usually melodramatic. Both the camera and a voice recorder behave like filters, okay? So they dumb down our language. If we're speaking like normal on camera or on a recorder, then our speech often sounds very flat, okay? So by being a little bit on the bubbly side and being melodramatic, giving great energy, that can actually help your score, okay? So be a little bit melodramatic. All right. If you maybe believe this or not, I'm actually a little bit melodramatic when I'm teaching you. So I'm also slightly melodramatic. Otherwise, you'd probably get bored of me. And think that I'm being very flat. It's because there's a camera between us. All right, students, let's just go to a few more of these icebreaker questions before we get to our part 3 questions. So next question, they might ask you this: where do you live? Okay, so give me a nice full sentence answer. Remember, you're not having a chit chat with your buddy at a coffee shop, okay? That will not get you the best score on the speaking. You need to be professional. It's not a job interview, but you have to use your best English. Again, it's like talking to grandfather or grandmother seriously, intelligently, in full sentences, nice and loud. So, where do you live? Okay. Mahi says, I live in Algeria. Wow, that's a big country. Do you live all over Algeria, Mahi, or is there a specific city that you live in? Esra says, I'm living in Turkey. Where in Turkey do you live, Esra? Do you live in a house? Do you live in an apartment? Okay, I bet you can tell me that. Give me the full spiel, okay? Marina, that's much better. I live in St. Petersburg, Russia. Can you tell me, Marina, if you live in an apartment, condo, house? Can you tack that on to your answer? It'll be better. I'll give you a higher band score. Okay, the more specific you can be, the more you can show me your compound, complex sentence structures, the better mark I can give you. All right? Yosef Samir, that's better. I'm living in Saudi Arabia, specifically in Jeddah, in a small apartment. How big is your apartment, Yosef? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom? Give me some quantitative information. I'll give you more band scores. Okay. Baljit says, since I've been a child, I'm living in Kapurthala in my own house. It's a small city in northern India, Baljit, northern India, not north of India, because that means it's outside of India. It's in India. Okay, so it's northern India. So careful not to make mistakes, but otherwise a really nice response, Baljit. You're showing me present perfect. So since I've been a child, I'm living in Kapurthala in my own house. It's a small city in northern India. So let's take Baljit's answer there. That's a good one. Why not show that you have higher level grammar skills right away? Since I've been a child, okay, watch the corrections here, Baljit. I've lived in my own 3-bedroom home with my parents and 3 siblings in Kapurthala, a small town in northern India. There is your band 9 answer to that question, Baljit. That's how it works. So I've tuned up your response a little bit. Nice use of the present perfect. Since I've been a child, I'm continuing with present perfect. I've lived in my own 3-bedroom home. Sure, it's yours, it's your family's. I'm just giving a little bit of quantitative information, 3-bedroom home with my parents and 3 siblings. So throwing in a little bit more of that vocabulary and quantitative information. In Kapurthala, this is where you need intonation. Notice my commas here. So when you're writing, students, like for task 2, for essays, especially university essays, you usually want to be careful not to have too many commas, like comma, 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 comma. So in writing, generally you don't want that many, but this is speaking. And in speaking, we take breaks a little bit differently than in writing. In speaking, this is part of my intonation, which gives clarity to what I'm saying. So I'm going to say this twice. First, just listen. Watch how I take my breaks, and then you can repeat. So, since I've been a child, I've lived in my own 3-bedroom home with my parents and 3 siblings in Kapurthala, a small town in northern India. Okay, notice how those commas are important. I take a slight break there because it makes it clear for the listener what I'm actually saying. In Kapurthala, the comma replaces the word which is a small town, okay? So in speaking, we'll often take out the which is. We'll take out those adjective clauses or those adjective pronouns, and then, or adverbial nouns, and then we'll replace it with a slight break. So one more time, students. Since I've been a child, I've lived in my own 3-bedroom home with my parents and 3 siblings in Kapurthala, a small town in northern India. That will get you a band 9. All right? Okay, who do you live with? Okay, so here is the next question. Who do you live with? Okay, so who are you with? Give me an answer to that question. Okay, let's see how you do. Priksha, I'm not sure if there's an app available where you can find a speaking partner, but you can definitely find speaking partners on our YouTube channel and on our websites as well. Okay. Laura Montalio Sanchez says, I'm currently living in an apartment with my parents and my brother. Sure. Older brother, younger brother, how old is he? Don't forget that quantitative information. That's really, really quite important. It does add a lot to the clarity of your communication. Okay. Dana Al-Karad says, I've been living by myself, not with myself. Dana, so Dana Al-Karad, I've been living by myself. Okay, by myself. So anybody know what we say in English? What's a common word that we use when a man is living by himself or when a woman is living by herself? There's a specific word for that in English. So sure, we can say, again, repeat after me. You can say, I've been living by myself for the past 2 years while attending university. Sure, we can say that. There's a specific word for that. And we even use it as a verb these days. Natalia Malina, it's on my own. Turkan Valiana, we do not say single. Begzod, you can say I've been living alone. And Marina, you're very, very close. You have the right idea, you just have the wrong spelling. I've been bacheloring it. That would be really impressive English for the examiner. So another way to say this is, this is very modern English. You'll notice that my spell check is not actually recognizing that as an official word. It hasn't entered the language yet to use bachelor as a verb, but we are using this in common everyday language now, especially in the US and Canada. We'll say, I've been bacheloring it for the past 2 years. It's not officially adopted as a verb yet in the English language, but we certainly use it often. And I'll give you another way to say it that's very technically correct in a second, okay? So I've been bacheloring it for the past 2 years. Or you could say, I've been a bachelor or bachelorette for the past 2 years. Living on my own while attending university. Okay, so that is some impressive vocabulary there. But it's not that rare, actually. It's not a rare word anymore. We use that quite often in everyday language. We'll say, I've been bacheloring it. Okay. So it is common. So again, these are a few different ways to express it. Repeat after me. Okay. Again, students, You're not just listening to me. This is not a listening exercise. This is a speaking exercise. So speak with me, okay? So I've been living by myself for the past 2 years while attending university. Or I've been bacheloring it for the past 2 years. Or I've been a bachelor, or if you're a woman, a bachelorette for the past 2 years living on my own while attending university. Fantastic. Now, in this case, we'd be lying if we're Baljit. Baljit, I'm going to use your answer. And Baljit just gave us a nice follow-up to his previous response. Because remember, we borrowed Baljit's response, Baljit Lubana, who's one of our members. We borrowed his response for this first answer. Remember, where do you live? Since I've been a child, I lived on my own, 3-bedroom home with my parents and 3 siblings. Now, Baljit followed that up with saying, as I just mentioned, I'm living with my parents and 3 siblings. Among them, 2 are elder sisters and 1 is a younger brother. We are a very happy middle-class family. It's a fantastic answer. So when you have a question like, where do you live? And you explain where you live and who you live with, and then you suddenly have another question, who do you live with? Please don't say something like, I just said I live with my parents and siblings, okay? That's not the best. Expand. So go into more detail. The examiners love when you do that. So you can make a connection among your answers. That's fantastic. So you can say, as I had just mentioned, okay? That's a really nice opening phrase. Absolutely. So you're making a good connection right away. It shows the examiner that you're connecting questions and responses. So that's perfect. And then just like what Baljit did, so as I just mentioned, I'm living with my parents and siblings. And then Baljit does exactly what he should do, goes into further detail. Among them and siblings, among them, 2 are my elder sisters and 1 younger brother, period. We are a very happy middle class family. Sure. And then you stopped. And Baljit did a great job of stopping there because Baljit knows that you don't want to just keep talking and going off topic. The examiner will not like that. They will interrupt you. So you've given enough information. You put an end to what you're saying. You've connected it with your previous answer. And you're getting some beautiful, nice band scores. Okay? Repeat after me. As I had just mentioned, I'm living with my parents and siblings. Among them, 2 are my elder sisters and 1 younger brother. We are a very happy middle-class family. Perfect, okay? And then you have speaking part 1 continuing, which is basically the examiner saying, now we will, or I will ask you some more questions on a general topic. The examiner will ask you 5, 6, 7 questions on a general topic. Pay very close attention to the questions. Pay attention to the nature of the question. Is it a who, when, where, why, how question? Okay. Always try to include reasons for your answers. Nice examples. Then you have a part 2. Part 2, many of you know you get a cue card with questions on it. You answer those questions. And then after you do a little 2-minute mini speech, you get to part 3. And that's what we are focusing on today. Okay? So today's focus is on part 3. Now, part 3 is different from part 1 in a couple of ways. It's a more specific topic. So they'll be getting into a more specific topic that's connected to part 2. Okay. And the examiner will be asking you some follow-up questions. So they'll ask you a question, and then they'll get you to go into more details as well. Okay. All right. Again, don't worry, students. If I didn't catch what you're writing, I'll get you on the next one. Okay. So the examiner will say something like, okay, now I'll take back the card with the questions and we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I will ask you questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about cleaning the home. Okay. What should you think about? So they'll be asking you this first question pretty quick. But as soon as you hear the let's talk about cleaning the home, what should you do? Students, what is a really important strategy to do when you hear the phrase let's talk about cleaning the home? That's a good question, how to answer weird questions. We can get to that in a little bit. Okay. Urfa Zaman, you are preparing for academic IELTS because the speaking section is the same for general. So Baljit says doing chores. Parminder says something in another language, which I can't understand. Syed Yasser says visualize. Absolutely. Syed, you should be visualizing already from part 2 because it's connected to this topic. And Begzad says, visualize and remember the related words. Yeah, absolutely. So picture yourself cleaning your house, okay, the chores that you do, and then think about words that are connected with the concept of cleaning the home. So what kind of words immediately pop into mind? So what kind of words pop into mind when you think of cleaning the home? Okay, and Halach al-Hajj says recycling, dusting, gardening, garbage, dishwashing, and those are fantastic words. Vacuum cleaner, vacuuming, Roshni Kunte, swiping, not really. Sana, Sohail, dusting, sure, washing curtains. Okay, yeah, so all those different kinds of chores. Broom, sure. So the tools that you're using, washing machine, dryer, clothes rack. Okay, lots of great words. Very good. Okay, dusting, mopping, sure. Washing the dishes, Nazmeen. We don't have such a word as dishing. Okay, it doesn't exist. All right. So the examiner gets to the question, the first one here. He won't ask you the follow-up question just yet. So think about those words, students, and then here we go. Why is it important to keep a clean home? So give me a good answer for this. And somebody was asking, what if I get asked a weird question? Well, first of all, buy some time. You can buy time with phrases like, that is a great question. Please allow me a moment to think of a good answer. And in many cases, students, it could be a good idea to buy this kind of time right on that first question. So it gives you a few seconds to visualize more about cleaning the home and thinking about words, okay? So why is it important to keep a clean home? Preeti Sinha says, cleaning the house is very important because, just let me get back to your comment there, Preeti. It flew off my screen. Here we go. So Preeti says, cleaning the house is very important because this helps to keep everyone healthy, and nowadays the vacuum cleaner is the best way. Okay, Preeti, I like the start, but then you start going off the question. I didn't ask you what's the best way to keep the home clean. I asked you why is it important to keep the home clean, and healthy is definitely a very good answer. It's a top level answer. You're doing some good paraphrasing, Preeti. It means you're using synonyms. So you're saying cleaning the house is very important because this helps to keep everyone healthy. Watch your word order, Preeti. Okay, it's not healthy everyone, it's everyone healthy. Okay, and then give me a little bit more information, Preeti. What do you mean it helps to keep everyone healthy? What happens if we have a dirty home? So Give me a little bit more. All right, let's take a look at some other students' answers here. Stella Brown Stella says, interesting. Hygiene is crucial because it is healthy and it's connected because of disinfecting various parts of the home that have bacteria or virus, such as the bathroom and kitchen, especially like cleaning the toilet. Okay. So Stella, you have a good start with interesting. Hygiene is crucial. So hygiene is a nice word, but then it kind of falls apart, your grammar. So careful with that. Is that Antonio? I can't read the Cyrillic, but it's either Anthony or Antonio. Says guests will come. Guests will come. Okay, so when people visit, it's important to show cleanliness and organizational skills so that they respect the family. Yes, but you need to give me more explanation. Okay, so just saying guests will come is not enough to get a high band score. You need more. All right. Begzod Suyunov says, I definitely believe that having a clean home not only helps members of the house to work efficiently, but also provides a healthy environment. Just this weekend, for this reason, I vacuumed 3 different rooms. Begzod, that's great. So using correlative conjunctions, not only, but also, 2 very clear points. So here we go. I believe that keeping a clean house is not only crucial for health, but also for work. For this reason, I spent at least 2 hours tidying all the rooms in my pad yesterday. Okay, so throwing in a little bit of natural language for you as well. Of course, I'm always teaching you. Just repeat after me. And students, these classes are recorded. You can come back to it later. Pick up the extra vocabulary, okay? Kind of a slang way to say my home or my house is my pad. Okay, it's modern English, or very modern English, I should say. And it's great. All right, so it'll work. Repeat after me. That's a great question. Please allow me a moment to think of a good answer. Well, I believe that keeping a clean house is not only crucial for health, but also for work. For this reason, I spent at least 2 hours tidying all the rooms in my pad yesterday. Okay, so Begzod, thanks for that foundation. I just tweaked it a little bit, made it a little bit better, and now it's great. Walter Barda, Alward, I've missed your answer. I didn't even see it. There's so many students commenting, but keep writing. I'll answer and I'll check what you're writing. Don't stress out. Here we go. So part 3, you get follow-up questions. Okay, so when you give this answer, you'll get this follow-up question. What is the best way to do this? Okay, so what is the best way to keep a clean home? Answer that question for me. What is the best way to keep a clean home? Okay, so what is the best way? So again, remember, part 3, they'll ask you an initial question and then be ready for that follow-up question. If it comes quickly, buy a little bit more time. You can do that. Don't overdo it. So here's a little bit of a trick or a tip on how you can do how you can get a little bit more time. What is the best way to do this? Well, that's certainly another good question. Okay. And then come up with a good answer. Think about it. Think simple. Okay. Begzod says, the best way of cleaning. Okay, I'll get to some other questions as well. Begzod says, or answers, the best way of cleaning is people should schedule days, like vacuuming on all odd days and tidying the whole house on the weekends. Brilliant answer, Begzod. Yeah, that's a very smart answer. 13 Guri Bar says there are a plethora of ways for cleaning the home, but using a vacuum cleaner is the best because not only is it efficient and quick, but it does a thorough job. 13 Guru Bar. Why is the vacuum cleaner so good? It's fast, efficient, and does a thorough job. Thorough job means that it does a really good clean, so gets all the dust, gets all the microbes, bacteria, and so on out of the carpets. All right. Let's see. Murasa Baraki says, in my perspective, one of the best ways is vacuuming. I believe this machine cleans the room quickly and efficiently. Just yesterday, I cleaned 3 rooms within 30 minutes. Murasa, that's good. You're thinking along the same lines as I am, and you gave a very similar answer. Just a couple of mistakes in there. Marina, that's a good way to start it. Well, first of all, don't make a mess, okay? Yeah, so keeping a clean home, putting objects back in their place is a good start. Aidana says, well, because of living in the age of technology, it goes without say that people are cleaning using devices such as vacuum cleaner. For example, when I clean my home, I use it. Yeah, Aidana, that's okay. I would avoid saying phrases like, it goes without saying. That's kind of strange in an IELTS speaking interview because you're there to speak. You're there to say. So it shouldn't go without saying. It should absolutely go with saying because I'm interviewing you. Does everybody get that? It goes without saying is a natural expression, just not in an interview. It's awkward. Okay? It goes without saying is a bit awkward in an interview like this. I wouldn't say that in a job interview. If the boss of the company or the employer says, why do you think this company is good to work for? And you say, well, it goes without saying that this is a famous company. No, don't say that. Say, well, this company has a very good reputation. Don't say it goes without saying. They want you to say it. They like hearing that, okay? So it goes without saying is something you'd say to your girlfriend or your wife or your boyfriend or your husband, where you say, it goes without saying, honey, that I love you. Okay, then in that context, it makes sense. All right. The reason I talked about that a bit is because I know a lot of students like using that phrase, it goes without saying. It's not a good one. Okay, it's not a good one for this situation. All right. So certainly that's another good question. The first measure is preventative. What I mean is avoiding making a mess in the first place. As well, having a regular cleaning schedule, like dusting on Tuesdays and washing windows on Saturdays. Let's say Saturdays, yeah. And washing windows on Saturdays is a practical and effective approach. Okay, so again, teaching you some more natural native English here with some nice vocabulary. Just repeat after me, students. Well, that's certainly another good question. The first measure is preventative. What I mean is avoiding making a mess in the first place. As well, having a regular cleaning schedule like dusting on Tuesdays and washing windows on Saturdays is a practical and effective approach. All right. Again, you want to use vocabulary. So if you have words like practical in your vocabulary base, then use it. If you know the word preventative, use it. Okay. Those are good. All right. That'll work. Okay. Pachu says we also use chemicals or detergents for cleaning the floor. For example, I always use a liter of cleaning chemicals in my house every month to make sure I properly disinfect areas around the toilet and the bathtub. Okay, so why do you use those chemicals, Pachu? Include that information. All right, students, keep pushing, keep going forward. Next question. How has technology changed the way people clean their homes? How has technology changed the way people clean their homes? Answer this question for me. It's a good one. Pay attention to the present perfect. Has changed. Meanwhile, I'll look at a couple more answers for the previous. Brian Jason Siervo Dite says we can keep the house clean by doing regular cleaning or regular chores, because you use the word clean, Brian. Brian, you're missing a verb there. So we can keep the house clean by doing regular chores and staying organized. For instance, I usually start by dusting, then sweeping the floor, and then mopping. Okay, good. So Brian, you have some nice information there. Just be careful of missing words and word use. Okay, one more time, that first sentence. We can keep the house clean by doing regular chores and staying organized. Right? That's the correct form of English there. All right, Baljit says, well, over the past decade, technology has revolutionized the way people maintain their homes. Technological gadgets such as robotic vacuum cleaners have quickened, not fastened, quickened the cleaning process. And in most cases, and then I guess you had some more information there, but ran out of space for the chat, which is okay. Doesn't need to get involved in the process. I see it now, Baljeet. Okay. Ayman Murkaz says, I believe that technology has made cleaning easier, not more easy, has made cleaning easier. Okay, Ayman Murkaz? I believe that technology has made cleaning easier. For example, dusting is less stressful by using a vacuum cleaner instead of a mop. Okay? Good. Yeah. Elena M says, I don't know what to answer even in my native language. Elena, that's why you have to practice. Okay? So good band scores on the IELTS exam, students, means that you're not just good in English, but you're good at communicating. So you're able to come up with quick, clever answers. You have to practice that. It's like a game show, all right? The IELTS examiners are not just judging your English, they're judging your communication skills. So Elena, you have to come up with answers for these kinds of questions. You really do. You have to visualize it, picture the technology used to clean homes these days, like vacuum cleaners, like advanced dishwashers and dryers, okay? So, and you have to be able to put that together in a sentence, all right? It's not considered extremely challenging information. All right. Syed Yassar, one more before I go on here. So Yassar says, technology has greatly influenced our cleaning methods. Using machines like vacuum cleaners helps us to finish our work within a relatively short amount of time. Syed, within a relatively short amount of time, not within no time. That's weird. Within relatively short amount of time. Even powerful detergents have made cleaning less stressful. Yes, absolutely. For instance, if I want to remove a coffee stain from my couch, right? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Just a sec. All right. So Let me get there. Here we go. Okay, so most definitely technology and gadgets have had a massive influence on the way people clean their residence. I'm trying to give you even more synonyms for the word home. Okay, another way to say home is your residence. It's where you live. All right. So most definitely, technology and gadgets have had a massive influence on the way people clean their residence. Notice that I'm respecting the present perfect nature of the question. Okay, so always pay attention to reflect the grammar of the question. Questions present perfect, reflect present perfect. Massive influence on the way people clean their residence. Immediately, the items which come to mind are robotic vacuum cleaners, advanced washers and dryers, as well as extremely effective detergents, which require much less elbow grease than in the past. Okay, so again, teaching you a little bit of vocabulary, a little bit of natural language. Here's one for you, elbow grease. Anybody know what that means? A little bit of elbow grease. When do English speakers use the expression elbow grease? Elbow grease? That's kind of a weird one if you think about it. Okay. Yeah, Darley Wiegand says elbow grease means effort, physical work, having to put effort into what you're doing. Absolutely. So if something takes a lot of elbow grease, it means it takes a lot of effort. Okay. If it takes less elbow grease, it means it takes less effort. So good for you for recognizing that the meaning of elbow grease is effort. All right, again, students, a word of caution: only use expressions and idioms and slang if you are 1,000, and I literally mean this, as 1,000% sure that you are using the expression correctly, okay? Yeah, there's a couple other ways to say that, like sweat, blood, and tears, okay? It's a little bit stronger. It's another way, sweat, blood, and tears. Elbow grease is more common in everyday language. All right, repeat after me, students. Most definitely, technology and gadgets have had a massive influence on the way people clean their residence. Immediately, the items which come to mind are robotic vacuum cleaners, advanced washers and dryers, as well as extremely effective detergents, which require much less elbow grease than in the past. Okay. All right. Notice something interesting that I've done here, even for the regular students. You'll notice that I've thrown in a really good set of examples of items, and notice the kind of interesting phrasing that I'm using here. Immediately, the items which come to mind. So using this phrase here, okay, immediately the items which come to mind, it's really nice natural language, plus the examiner will not interrupt you when you use that because they're not sure what's coming. They're not sure if that's an example coming or more explanation. So they'll give you a chance to finish your example when you start it with this phrasing. Immediately the items which come to mind are, and then you give a list of those items. So that's a very effective phrase, okay? All right, I'll read a couple more, and then we'll go on to the next question. Rekha, I saw that you said by hand. Elbow grease means more more effort than by hand necessarily. Kilola Muslim says to decrease the pollution in nature, we need to keep our houses tidy, but some chemical substances are harming our planet rather than helping. Not sure what you're answering there. Musfikur says, I don't think so. It's always good to clean our home. Okay, we're on the next question. Some students are kind of jumping ahead. Please try not to do that. I know it's tempting. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the follow-up question. Okay, so now do it, students. Now go to the follow-up question. So the original question was, how has technology changed the way people clean their homes? This was our answer here. And then the examiner will ask you a follow-up question. The examiner will say, is this always good? Okay, so is this always good? Basically the question saying, is using technology to clean the home, is that always good? Okay. So, is it always good? Warda, I didn't see your comment at all. I was looking for it and I didn't see it. So, I'll go back and check it out. But I just simply don't see any comment from you, Warda. So, you might want to check what's going on in your end because I don't see it in the stream. It's being filtered. All right. Farhan says, even though the outcome with today's technology, cleaning the home, is better than in the past days, I believe the sense of accomplishment by scrubbing every corner of the room is missing these days. Okay, so Farhan, you're close. It's not rubbing the room corners, it's scrubbing every corner of the room. Okay, Farhan? Scrubbing every corner of the room. Silin Wang says, technology has made people lazier. People have become more sedentary. Okay, watch your grammar there, Silin. People have become more sedentary, not get sedentary. People have become more sedentary at work and at home and do nothing, and therefore it's unhealthy to use technology instead of good old-fashioned physical labor. Celine, good old-fashioned physical labor. Masfakur Rahman, there are a lot of drawbacks to using technological innovations to clean the home properly. Sometimes people face certain problems, such as lack of knowledge about technical innovations. Besides this, they use detergents which pollute the environment. Sure. Yeah, I can see your continuation now, Masfakur Rahman, and exactly what I said. Dangerous washing detergents, which can be hazardous for human health and the environment. All right. Amardeep Singh says, this is often useful if someone does not run out of time for their job. Amardeep, you want to rephrase that? It's a little bit unclear what you're saying. If you're talking about saving time, then you should say, yes, it is always good. So with this kind of question, and these are very common follow-up questions, students, is this always good or is this always a positive? You have to start with yes, it is, or no, it's not. Okay? Many times the answer will be something like, no, it's not, right? So, no, this is not always a positive for either the individual cleaning or the surrounding environment. What I mean is that people often give too much responsibility to machines to do the job right, and the cleaning is not done as well as it should be. Like just the other day, the dishwasher left my pots greasy and dirty. Also, the powerful detergents that many people apply during the process harm the environment. Each year, millions of fish die from household chemicals. Okay, so notice those smooth flowing examples. All right, so go into details, say your mind, and remember to include those smooth flowing examples, students. So here we go. Repeat after me. No, this is not always a positive for either the individual cleaning or the surrounding environment. What I mean is that people often give too much responsibility to machines to do the job right, and the cleaning is not done as well as it should be. Like just the other day, the dishwasher left my pots greasy and dirty. Also, the powerful detergents that many people apply during the process harm the environment. Each year, millions of fish die from household chemicals. Okay? All right. And then comes the next question. If people want to protect the environment, what do they need to consider when cleaning their homes? Now you can make a connection to the previous answer of these household chemicals. You can say, well, they should pay attention to what kinds of chemicals they buy. They need to buy chemicals that are environmentally friendly and do not harm wildlife or plants. And then you have 3 more questions. If you're doing a great job answering and you're fluent and you've done a fantastic job, you still have some time, you'll get some more questions. How can society ensure that their community is kept clean? Can you give details? This is talking about home community cleanup. So what government rules can help keep neighborhoods clean? How can these rules be enforced? What is or are the consequences of a dirty neighborhood? Okay, let me just clean the grammar up there. There we go. There we go. Okay, students, these questions, guess what? It's homework, a gift from me to you. Answer these questions on your own at home. Use your smartphone. Record your answers. Send them to my email as an MP3 attachment. I'll give you a band score estimate of roughly what you can expect to get for those answers on the exam. Here is my email, Adrian, Adrian, at aehelp.com. Send them to me by email. If you want to book speaking lessons and speaking practice, you can do that on our website. So log into our website, aehelp.com or gieltshelp.com, and you can book practice IELTS speaking interviews. It's a great service. It's a great way to improve. So make sure to use that. This is what our websites look like. This is General IELTS at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join it. This is our academic here, aehelp.com. Click that big red button to join it. Once you do, you can log in here at the top to your My Student account, which is full of goodies. You start with a tour of the account, and then you see you have your interactive practice tests. You have a full online course that takes about 60 hours. You have a curriculum book, student workbook, study plan. You have lesson videos over 100 hours. You have a whole bunch of CDs. So it's really just a beautiful package to help you get ready for the exam and maximize your scores. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. You have done a great job participating, everyone. Tomorrow, first class for members at 13:30 Central European Time. Task 2, we're going to complete that essay. And then reading strategy, which will be for everyone. Much love to all of you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If it's late in your country, enjoy, relax, get good sleep, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.